Chapter 1. The Beginning. Mark 1:1. The beginning of the gospel of Jesus the Christ, Son of God. Many today are preaching a gospel which they define as good news. That is very different from what is written here. The Gospel of Mark speaks of the Son of God and of a kingdom that differs greatly from the kingdoms of men's religion. When Jesus entered the scene, the word gospel was already being used on special occasions in the Roman Empire to announce a change of kings or kingdoms. King and kingdom derive from the same root word in Greek. The kingdom is everything that falls under the authority of the king, including persons and territory. When a new king came on the scene, after the former king died or was killed or deposed, he brought with him a change in government, and the gospel was the new king's proclamation of this important change. Since humans are corrupted by power, the former king had likely become very corrupt and even tyrannical. So it was usually good news to the people when they learned that the king had been replaced. Today, most countries have elections every few years, but in ancient times, when the psalmist declared that the days of our years are 70, and of the most valiant 80 years, Psalm 90 verse 10, it could take 30, 40, or even 50 years before a new king took the throne. Imagine having to wait that long for a change in government. When the Caesar was at last dead or deposed, heralds were sent forth under armed escort into every corner of the empire to blow their trumpets and proclaim the good news of the advent of a new king. The early Christians likewise had good news. The greeting among them was Jesus is Lord, and the reply was, yes, he is Lord indeed. These words were part of the beginning of the gospel, the good news that the Lord Jesus Christ is our new king. We may accept him or reject him, but he is still sovereign. The word gospel doesn't just mean good news, but it refers to the specific good news that we have a new king. No longer do we have to serve Satan, the old despot. The Romans, on the other hand, believed that Caesar was God, and when the good news of the new Caesar was proclaimed, everyone was expected to kneel, swear allegiance to him as their Lord and King, and henceforward worship him. The Roman soldiers dealt swiftly with any who dared to refuse, a stand which led to the deaths of many Christians who had given themselves to the Lord Jesus and rejected any demand to worship Caesar. The gospel we're going to look at in this book was written down by John Mark, who was a young disciple at the time of the events. You will recall that on the night Jesus was betrayed, prior to the crucifixion, the disciples abandoned him and fled the Garden of Gethsemane. Amongst their number was a young lad clothed only in a sheet. When the Roman soldiers grabbed the sheet, the boy fled naked. Mark 14:50-52.